Whew, I needed a break from all the Cape stuff I've been reading lately, and I was glad this came out a couple weeks ago. Donald Duck Baloonatics by Carl Barks. I've been going through a lot of the Carl Barks stuff. I was going through them in chronological order, and then I started reading the ones as they came out, starting with the one before this. So I'm at least keeping up with the releases, but I need to actually go through and kind of finish the rest of this. These are the best comics you're ever going to read, people. I always try to state this when I read these, but it really is. The Donald Duck stuff cannot be overstated how good it is. The hype is real. This is a beautiful presentation by Fantagraphics with these nice hardcovers that you get. It does not actually say the volume and all that on the side. You kind of got to research, and it's in the back. And I always forget what page it's on. But the back also tells you what all the strips came from. This one's really interesting because a lot of them towards the end here were actually based on Carl Barks breakdowns, and then they were done by other artists later, and there were actually multiple versions of them done. And so they actually took later versions that were done by European artists for these, and we'll get into those stories in a little bit. Here's the last page actually has it. So you have all the volumes here. They started with 5 for some reason. So I guess they're going to do 1, 2, 3, and 4 last. And this is volume 25. I don't know how many volumes there's going to be. We're into the 60s now, so we're kind of closing things up towards the end of this. But it's good stuff. You get a little intro. You get a little biography of Carl Barks in the back, and then we get this cool Donald Duck stuff. Now, all of these are like 10 to 12 page vignettes in this book. It's not always like that. Sometimes he has 1-page gags. Sometimes he has longer 20, 30 page stories. But all of these were about the same. And the first one, the Duck kids have balloons, and Donald Duck ends up making a balloon of himself, and he gets shot down from an airplane. It's really ridiculous. But you can just see like the expressions. Look at the concern versus the befuddledness. It's just like, this is just perfect comics. He really nails all of it. The dialogue's great. Even though this is like 40s through 60s, it feels modern. It's good. And there's some stuff that doesn't. But this is a pretty funny one where Donald Duck's trying to hunt frogs for making frog legs for his local French restaurant. The dog sitter, this one's cute. Donald Duck ends up watching this dog, and this dog, of course, runs away, and he has to deal with it, and hijinks ensues. The mystery of the loch. He actually goes to Loch Ness to go try to find the monster there. And of course, there's a zillion other divers doing the same thing. And he thinks he finds her kind of at the end. It's cute. Donald ends up as a blacksmith in this one. And he's always down on his luck. And so just like, but the way that like the pacing is, the storytelling throughout all this is really the story of Carl Barks and how good it is all the way through. Great stuff. The Falcons, the Friday Falcons. He gets a little pet falcon here. This was one of my favorites. I thought the pet falcon was cute. I wish the pet falcon would stay and come back, but it didn't. So when they get a rock tumbler and polish rocks, and Scrooge, of course, wants to deal with that too and find a bunch of rocks. And they can't get away from him. Turkey Trouble. It's when they go hunting turkeys. It's a cute one. All of these are great. This one's a missile. There's a evil spy who's like hunting all the missiles and shooting them down, and they have to uncover that. The Whole Herd of Help. You get the. Are we on? Okay, so this is the last Donald Duck story in here, and I think my favorite, as I mentioned, is the Falcon one. I thought that was the cutest, and then second's probably the one with the dog, where he has to chase after the dog, because I think that's pretty fun too. So those are probably my favorite 2 in the book. Then we get to like this Grandma Duck's Farm Friends, and these were, I guess, backups in the Disney books, and it's cute. What I gotta say about these that I don't like as much as the other Donald Duck stuff by far, storytelling wise, is there's always an environmental concern, like the elephants here, and everybody's like trying to stop stuff at the farm. But Scrooge is a villain in these, and he really is like trying to mess everything up in a dastardly way that like just doesn't feel right. Scrooge now, of course, can be all about money in the Duck books, but in these ones in particular, he feels like he's like, I don't know, just pushing way too far into just bad things. Gladstone ends up coming here as a bullfighter. Pretty cute. We get the Beagle boys. Now we get into the Junior Woodchucks. So this is I believe where it changes to where it's just his layouts. And I also didn't like these as much. Like, Scrooge is really the villain in this. I was wrong on that. I missed it. So these ones were always dealing with a farm animal or something like that. They were cute, but they just weren't the best. These are the ones where Scrooge ends up being a villain, and the kids are always ending up doing an environmental cause, like they don't want to chop down the forest, and Scrooge is going to clear cut the forest, and it's like, what? And they have to fight back with all the animals. I thought this felt a little forced, and I just didn't like the way that that Scrooge was portrayed in this. This one, Scrooge is like trying to cut this beached whale open for its blubber and all that, and the kids are trying to get it out to sea, and so they have to fight Scrooge, and it's just like, I don't know. I didn't like the feel of Scrooge through these, as I mentioned before. And yeah, you can tell that these are later done. Just the colors look a little more brightly done, and you can tell it's not Carl Barks's art. It's just his layouts over the course of these, which is fine. But then you start getting that starts to end with the whole environmental Scrooge thing, and then the last couple actually just have the Huey, Dewey, and Louie troupe competing against a troop of pigs for their woodchuck badges, and that's cute. Not my favorite. I enjoyed the Donald Duck stuff a lot more than I enjoyed those. And then you get a cover gallery of the ones he did, which are beautiful, beautiful covers in the back. So half this book really was not my favorite compared to most of the other Carl Barks stuff. This is probably the least favorite of them that I read so far, but it still is great stuff. Quick read, very nice break. Everything's kind of wholesome through the course of this, which is nice to read too. So it's good stuff. 8.5 out of 10. And I look forward to getting back into my reading and completing all this stuff. All right, hit that like and subscribe button. We'll be back soon.